Welcome back, everybody. We're here to pull cards for September the 18th. I am going to be pulling one card for overall energy. After that, we'll pull one card for each sign, and we'll see how those predictions pan out as we look at the card combinations that come up. So, overall energy shows up as the Seven of Swords coming up in reverse. What I'm hearing on this is back to the drawing board. Seven of Swords can mean a couple different things. Sometimes it means being sneaky. Sometimes when it comes up right side up, it means that we're making a strategy. So when it's in reverse, we can be trying to undo our sneakiness, sort of, or we can be going back to the drawing board with our strategy. We may recognize that a previous strategy did not work, and so we're working on coming up with another one. So back to the drawing board on some kind of strategy. Very ironic because I have to change my setup right now because these cards are so fat they don't fit on my cloth unless I have my cloth turned the other way from what it was. So I already had to go back to the drawing board just as a visual demonstration. All right, let's jump in. Let's see what's going on for all the signs. We'll start with Aries. Excuse me. Starting with Aries. What are you taking back to the drawing board? Seven of Wands. This talks about your standards, your boundaries. So you may be rethinking what your standards are, rethinking what your boundaries are around some certain situation, or maybe even some geographic place. Some of you may literally be rethinking some kind of fencing idea as far as fencing in your yard or something like that. But it does not have to be anywhere near that literal. So rethinking your standards or rethinking your boundaries today, Aries. Back to the drawing board. Taurus, what are we taking back to the drawing board? Ace of Swords in reverse. Taurus, we are thinking and rethinking about the impression that we want to have on the people in our sphere of influence. Ace of Swords in reverse talks about giving somebody some advice, passing along some good information. We are reevaluating the information that we are passing along, and we're looking at how can we make that better than what it has been. Next up is Gemini. Gemini. All right, guys. Y'all have the Two of Cups in reverse. Geminis, this is coming across really interesting. I think there's somebody who is either fascinated with you or fascinated with this idea of getting you involved in something that they are involved in. Or maybe for some of you, maybe it's not even something they're involved in, but something that they think you should be involved in yourself. And I think you've been kind of like trying to figure out how to dissuade this person from that idea. I think whatever your first attempt was didn't work. For some of you, it's already been more than one attempt. And I think you're trying to come up with a new strategy, working on a new strategy to dissuade them from that idea. Next up, we're looking at Cancer. King of Cups coming up in reverse, Cancers. Cancers, there's some idea that you're not really all that fond of, you don't like, and I'm going to say it all with that King of Cups in reverse. But there's something going on today that has you rethinking that, has you questioning, is this really as bad as I thought it was? Maybe there are some good points about this thing. Next up, we're looking at Leo. Leo, Leo, Leo. Princess of Swords showing up in reverse. There's something that you want to understand better or learn more about, something that you want more information on. And maybe where you've looked for that information so far hasn't got you what you need. So you may be considering Maybe I need to look for this in another place. And for a lot of you Leos, this information that you're looking for has to do with things that are esoteric or occult or arcane. Boop, ba-da-doo-doo. This is a good place just to say that I am a psychic mentor if you're looking for information around that topic. Let's see, let's look at Virgo. Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. You guys have the Five of Swords showing up here. This is telling me that there's been some kind of fight or disagreement that has come up, and that's what has you going back to the drawing board and making different plans to accomplish whatever it is you want to accomplish here. Something so that you don't have to go through this obstacle of the fight or the debate to get what you're trying to accomplish accomplished. Oh goodness, excuse me. Libra. Okay, Libras, you guys have the King of Wands. What's happening here? Libras, I feel like you have somebody in your sphere of influence that you are trying to impress, trying to get them on board with an idea for you. This may be like a loan officer or a supervisor at work or something like that. But it seems to me like this is somebody who's very creative. They think outside the box. They're fairly outgoing and social. Um, there's something that you want them to agree with you on. And I think you're going back to the drawing board about, what kind of information you could present to them so that they will be on board with you. You may have already tried to get them on board with you and struck out once. Now you're looking at how can I do this again? Maybe you went to, you know what, I'm not going to give a bunch of examples because I think that throws people off. Let's just stick with what I've said. All right, let's see what comes up for me and my fellow Scorpios. Oh, this is interesting. Strength card, to me, this talks about feeling comfortable in our own skin, having a decent amount of self-esteem. We're not feeling egotistical, like we're all that and 15 bags of chips, but we're also not feeling like, like we're something that people should be wiping their feet on either. We're in a really good place where we're comfortable with ourselves. Now, with that basically self-esteem card coming up, with that Seven of Swords in reverse, I think we're rethinking our value. We're rethinking our self-esteem. So even if we think we've got pretty good self-esteem right now, I think we're going to be reevaluating that. I think our self-esteem is going to be coming up, coming up. All right, let's look at Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Sagittarius, Sagittarius. What do you have? Six of Pentacles. Sagittarius, I think you're rethinking your payday and your way of getting paid. So I don't think you're rethinking the services that you offer to the world. You may be rethinking whether you want to take Venmo or Zelle or whatever like that. But rethinking your services and your way of getting paid, Sagittarius. Next up, we're looking at Capricorn. 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 Bo-ba-da-doo-doo. Six of Wands showing up in reverse. What's going on here, Capricorns? You kind of have a dual meaning here. So for some of you, both of these meanings will be true. For others of you, one or the other. All right. But what's coming up here has to do with appreciation. And the rethinking, the back to the drawing boardness is about appreciation. So for some of you, you're going back to the drawing board. You're rethinking how much you appreciate maybe a particular person in your life or some things in your life. But your level of appreciation for them is really, really changing. I'm going to say for most of you, you're really appreciating some things a lot more than you have up until now. And for some of you, or for others of you, maybe, um, you have somebody in your life, maybe even more than one somebody, who isn't really appreciating you. And I think you're considering what are the implications of that and what are the actions that you should take, if any, because of that. Okay, that's what I've got for Capricorns. Next up, we're looking at Aquarius. Aquarius. Five of Cups. So Aquarius, you've got some kind of disappointment coming in here. With these two cards, it's really hard for me to tell what part of your life we're looking at here, but something that has been disappointing. And this talks to you about the idea of rethinking the whole situation around this disappointment, really going back to the drawing board. I don't think you're going to let this disappointment stop you or maybe even slow you down very much at all. I think you're just going to go back and make some new plans and try to find yourself a way to come up with a outcome that is not a disappointment. Good for you. Pisces. You guys are up next. Two of Swords showing up for Pisces. Okay. You guys have made some kind of decision, and this decision is something that impacts you a little bit more on the long-term level. We're not talking about deciding what's for supper here. So you're going back and you're kind of rethinking. I think you've already made the decision. I don't think the decision is changing, but I do think you're going back and you're rethinking, how do I get to this target or this goal that I have decided I'm going for? So you're more rethinking the how to than the actual decision itself. Okay. So that's what I have for everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by, hanging out, spending some of your precious time with me. I do appreciate it. Of course, I am doing readings and Reiki sessions on the phone or online today. If you would like to schedule one of those, all you have to do is get a hold of me. All my contact information is at the website listed above right there. And we'll get you scheduled as quickly as we can and get you taken care of. Looking forward to talking to you. Also, everybody here, please remember you guys are my lovely sponsors. Thumbs ups are appreciated, shares are appreciated, and comments are much appreciated. Everyone have a fantastic day. Peace out.